Good morning. How you doing? Remember, stink bits save lives. Thank you all for joining me today from wherever you are on this planet. Please do say hi if you can. Nice to have you here. What is going to happen? We're waiting right now on the CPI report. We're just wondering what it said. It might be out already. We're going to keep an eye on that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It is Wednesday, August the 14th, 2024. That's where we are right now. At the moment, I see the Dow off 18 points, S&P down 3/4 of a point, the NASDAQ down 11, crude oil up about 9 cents. So far, that's what I'm showing for this market. Welcome one, welcome all to the program. And hopefully a bunch of you are going to make a bunch of dinero today, a bunch of money, because this market is just priming up to reward you folks who are patient option writers. You are going to be paid handsomely for your efforts, I think, and deservedly so, I say. Thanks again for thumbs ups, and thank you for joining my poll question today. If you haven't seen it, it's up and right at the moment. 45 of you have already voted on this thing. The question today for you is, or the statement, you can agree with it or disagree with it, is I think the Magnificent Seven shares will hit new highs before the end of the year. 76% of you are saying, you know what, Bruce, I think you're right. This market's going higher. In some cases, by the way, 74% say yes, 26% say no. In order for the Magnificent Seven to hit new highs by the end of the year, we're going to need to see some significant price movements on some of our, some of these Magnificent Seven stocks. Nvidia, for example, is trading at 117 right now. It's going to have to hit 140. Google's going to need a big move. Tesla would need another move. There's some movement that's going to have to happen here to really make this go through. I'm just watching the market right now, trying to determine just how it's going. The Dow is now down 27 points, and the S&P is down half a point. Nasdaq down 9. We don't have a catastrophic move at the moment, but it seems to be slightly lower. Waiting on and looking for the CPI report. I'm wondering if any of you have noticed it. Let's see, Wall Street Journal, are they showing anything here? Still waiting for their alert to come through here on this thing. Alrighty. Welcome one, welcome all to the program. Thank you for joining me today from wherever you are. It's great to have you. CPI, Charlie is saying, seems to be nothing burger. 2.9% versus 3% forecast. This is good. It's not negative. It's leaning to the positive. We'll see how this goes and see what happens from here. Time will tell. Pappy J, thank you for upgrading your membership to Gold Bagel. Fantastic. Welcome to the Gold Bagel membership level. By the way, tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, it's Wednesday night, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern, Primetime Live with yours truly for only Gold Bagel members. It's a private show for Gold Bagel members only tonight, 7 o'clock, and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern. Join me with the Goldies, and this is your opportunity to just talk about what you're up to, what you're doing. I'll bring up some topics of discussion if necessary. I'll certainly throw you some suggested trade ideas, anything that's coming across my desk. You will fire to me trade ideas, and we'll talk about it and see if it makes sense for everybody. Great opportunity for hanging out after the markets are closed, pressure is off, and we can just chat. How are you doing on your option writing transactions? Fantastic. Welcome all to the party. Nice to have you with us, okay? Looking at NVIDIA, we're at 117.40, still up $1.30. We were at 118 this morning. Google, 162.04, pardon me, down $2. Google's been under pressure this morning because of rumors of there might be a mandatory breakup of the company. There's nothing official anywhere. Pure speculation. We've got Tesla down 4 cents, up 5 cents. We're kind of flat on that. Not much to report there. Microsoft up $7 yesterday, down 50 cents this morning. Facebook was up $12.50 yesterday. It's down $1.49 this morning. All right, there you go. Welcome everyone to the show, and thank you for being here. Lame Duck was number one today on the thumbs up meter. Deep Value is here. Richard Carlin is here. Thank you for these thumbs ups, guys. They quickly zoom into the teens very quickly. Thank you all for coming through. James of the Misty Tree, good morning. Another one here. Louis is here. Hector, Alex, good morning. CKT, Charlie. Let's go. Carrie, welcome. And JD181, welcome. Become members immediately, please. Bobby, 680 on SoFi. So long, $6 range, says Bobby. Charlie C2, CPI seems to be a big nothing burger. But Johnny Alendro, is GameStop the greatest investment? I don't know what this means. Mike W, good morning. CKT is here. Uncle Bruce, what's your outlook for SMH and the semiconductor sector for the next few years? I have 500 shares in my retirement account, which unfortunately I can't write options on. My average is 144. Why can you not write options on SMH? I don't understand why you can't do that. I thought you could write options on SMH. That's a bit odd. Let me take a look here. SMH, unless you've got a restriction of some kind that limits you specifically because of your employer, maybe, or the plan that you have the shares in, or something of that nature. Is that what it is? I don't know. Vanik Semiconductors is trading here at 236.85. The high for the year 283. The low about a year ago 136. So doing very nicely. And 22 billion in net assets in this unit. This thing is very good. And on the option front, let me take a look. There should be options tradable on this, isn't there? Or no? Are there no options trading on this thing? I don't see options trading on this thing. They don't have options trading on it. I always thought they had for some reason. No one bothers to tell me this. Anyway, if you can't write options on it, you can't write options on it. What you might want to do instead, and again, you have to make these decisions on your own. This is not, for me to decide. But for those of you who want to, what am I saying here? For those of you who wish to generate option income from semiconductor stocks, I guess that's the way to say it. If you can't do it on this entity, then you're going to have to pick others. And what you might want to do is take a look at the top 5 holdings of this particular ETF, and then decide for yourself, do you want to sell this ETF and then replace this ETF with maybe 100 shares of the top 5 stocks, or 200 shares of this one, 100 of this one? Do you buy 3 of the top 5? Can you write options on them? That's the first question. Of the shares that are listed, are they U.S. listed? Can you write options on them? Do they have a market? Do they have a following? Certainly, NVIDIA would be number one. I would think in this category. And if you pick up NVIDIA shares for long-term hold, and you now become an option writer on NVIDIA, you're going to grab serious premiums. And again, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to take this volatility on compared to the ETF only? Because if you sell the ETF and you buy the stock instead, you're in effect dropping a $237 stock approximately to pick up NVIDIA at 117, which is, half the price, something like that. In effect, you could go from 500 shares of SMH to 1,000 shares of NVIDIA. That would allow you to write 10 NVIDIA contracts, call options, out of the money, a month forward, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, whatever you want to do. You want to write NVIDIA contracts that expire in January of 2025. Just go that far out. If you want to be that conservative and that far ahead without worrying about the minute-to-minute, day-to-day, week-to-week earnings and stuff, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just go ahead and write a contract out of the money going forward to take capital, because the game plan here is to bring cash into your account and start to earn revenue from your shareholdings, and to basically allow you to grow the value of your retirement fund. Question is, which one do you write and how much can you get for it? I'm just zooming along here for yesterday's quotes, last night's closing quotes. If you were to write 125s, which are only a few dollars out of the money, like say $9 out of the money, something like that, they were fetching $14 a share as of last night. So if you can write 10 of these $1,400 contracts, you'd bring in $14,000 in cash. That would be enough money to buy another 100 shares of NVIDIA, taking you to 1,100 shares, and you can write another contract for another $1,400. If you went to $130 contracts for January 2025 expiry, you'd probably bring in almost $12.5, maybe $13 there. And that is enough to buy another 100 shares of the company and offer your stock at $130 a share, which right now is ballpark, about $12 higher than where it's trading at. Right now, I'm showing it at 118 at this second. So, you get taken out at $130 a share. If you were bought out and you keep the $12.50 that you just got, you're selling at $142.50 on a 118 stock. Now, think again about where you are now. You have 500 of the Vanik semiconductors. You turn them into 1,000 NVIDIA, and then you get to 1,100 NVIDIA, and you get taken out at $130 a share on 1,100. If this were to happen, you're ultimately selling at 142 on 1,100 shares, and so you would be taking out $155,000 in value, where 500 shares of SMH right now are worth. Do the math. You know what it is. What is it? 110, 120,000. So you're up substantially. You would just buy back your shares, your 1,100 shares, write another 11 contracts for maybe 150. If the shares have gone up and you were taken out, you'll write 150s, 145s, looking to take in another 12 or plus dollars a share or more. And that could be enough to buy another 100 shares to write one more contract. Now you're sitting on 1,200, and you're saying to the market, take me out around $150 a share. And that is 180 grand plus the premiums. You're approaching $200,000. Just a thought. But CKT, welcome. You might want to become a member of this channel and, consider a one-on-one with me. Bobby Spire reports today, Uncle Bruce is right on. Flint Creek here, but I'm not here. I have called every government official from town supervisor to the governor of state, meeting with someone who will help rebuild the creeks to help keep our hood together. Happy trading. Thank you, Flint Creek. Keep it going. Go GameStop, please. Eddie Martin, good day. Number 41. Eddie, become a member. Flint Creek, what is that? Go Spire. Fat finger typing. Sorry. Victor, good morning, folks from Johannesburg. Good morning, Victor from Johannesburg. Become a member today. Michael Tucker, yes, GameStop is the greatest investment opportunity out there. Become a member, please. CKT, it's a restricted employer account. That's why I can't do anything. I would definitely be writing options on it if I could. Gotcha. Okay, thank you, CKT. Let's keep in touch on this. Good morning, folks from Johannesburg. Thank you. Flint Creek, thank you a million times for helping us out. The best bagel heads in the world are here. Got to run to a meeting, get that dinero. Those of you who've been helping out Flint Creek, if you don't know, she had a flood in her area, and part of her property was flooded, including part of her house. But her soap making business and everything is fine. She has a website, flintcreeksoapcompany.com, I think is what it's called. You can check it out. And we've been, a number of viewers here have been picking up soap from her, putting in orders to get soap out of her inventory into their hands and get cash into her hand to take care of any damages that she's dealing with in her area. So God bless her. And the official soap company of this channel. There you go. The man, AVGO is what I want to do options on. I just need some capital. Just did a huge split, 25-1, I think, only going up. Again, I don't even know what AVGO is. Who are these guys? HCL, I found options on Yahoo Finance for SMH. I thought there was, I think you can, right? It might be my, it just might be my Market Watch app that is acting up and not allowing me to do this at the moment. It's probably that's what it is. I've always thought you could write options on SMH. 99.999% certain you can do it. Again, I don't understand what sometimes what happens here. The glitches in the market. Again, just just a guy in front of a computer. I don't trade, so I don't have live trading stats or anything like that. Yeah, here we are. We're showing markets. Yeah, but if you're not able to trade on SMH because of an employee scenario, gotcha. The hope I have then for our viewer is that the shares, the underlying certificates on this ETF will go higher. I feel good about the chip business. I feel very good about it. I think NVIDIA and others who are in the chip making field and AI requirements are just going to lift it higher. But, good days and bad days, right? There you go. There you go. Dude, good tip. I've been hearing a lot about AVGO. The chart looks very nice. Giddy up. Let's take a peek here at AVGO. Pardon me for me not knowing what it is because I can't follow everything. It's Broadcom. Okay. What frustrates me about some of these companies is they have symbols that make no sense to the name of the company. This is one of them, AVGO. We're at 157.50 on Broadcom right now. The high low for the year of 79 for the low, 185 for the high, and we're up 136 in the pre-market, up 750 yesterday. There you go, Broadcom. Okay. Moving on, John Harpster, good morning. Flint Creek, there Uncle Bruce goes again. You are the best. Giddy up. Hopefully you'll get some more orders today, and that'll help you out. Dude, looks like SMH does have options, Uncle Bruce, and CKT. I've never written them, but I see the chain all the way up. Thank you, dude. The man, it's a semiconductor company. Gotcha. Pappy J, Broadcom. Thank you. Charlie, Nancy just bought a ton of calls on Broadcom recently. Interesting. Money Maker One might need to move the stocks to a different brokerage IRA that will let you trade options. Again, if it's an employee restriction, then there's nothing you can do. Mike and Nancy Pelosi bought Broadcom. Charlie, if that isn't a bullish signal, I don't know what is. There you go. Tom, members of Congress have made large purchases of Broadcom lately. It's going to tech to the moon. Interesting. Going to the moon. There you go. There's some interesting comments from some of our members and non-members. Non-members, become members because you can help yourselves and the members can help you. You're able to chat during our live shows. You're able to join us on, if you become Gold Bagel members, you can join us on Wednesday nights and the half an hour before the show even starts every day. There you go. I believe Broadcom was like 1,800 or something like that, and then did a 25-to-1 split a long time ago, a while ago. Again, I don't know. I don't follow every single. I can't. I can't do it. And I'm concentrating really on option strategies. There's nothing wrong with option strategies on any stock you want to do it on. The question is volatility, spread between bid and ask, the ability to get in and out on a decent trade. Can you do stink bid, stink offers, or do you have to do them every single time, which could delay fills? Good fills, but sometimes you can't get instant trades. You got to be careful about this stuff. Trade what you know, trade what you're comfortable in, and trade what you're confident in doing from a risk perspective. Conservatism, the more conservative your option strategy, the better. Because a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we have had viewers here who have lost money on volatile swings in the market, which had nothing to do with the stocks they're following. The yen carry trade, what the hell is that all about? Why should problems with the Japanese yen affect your stocks? They do. Surprise! We have to be ready for anything. Puddin' Pie, any thoughts on Starbucks' big 20% price jump yesterday? This was probably a knee-jerk reaction to the ousting of the CEO and replacing of another. To me, I think this is the wrong move. I think there should be a volatility on the downside on Starbucks. Because if the sales are slumping and same-store performance isn't there, and China numbers aren't great, or whatever the issue is, if it's an America issue, a Europe issue, a China issue, global issue, brand issue, then the stock shouldn't be going up at all. I don't care who's in charge. This new person coming in will make no difference in the first week of this company's existence, of his contract. It will make probably no difference in the first month. Maybe the perception is, oh, well, we got a better person now, and maybe this is going to be the right person. Well, now you're gambling. You're going, oh, well, I'm going to gamble on this stock. This is a stock you have to be very careful about, because there could be a 10% move or more either way going forward from here. The move up has added volatility to the stock immediately. And it might keep going, but on the other hand, it might stop and abruptly go the other direction. Or the next quarterly report and commentary from the new CEO might blow the stock off down by 40%. We don't know. This is a company in flux, and it isn't all rosy in the coffee business. All of a sudden, the coffee business is not as profitable or as easygoing as it has been for Starbucks. And frankly, the last 10 years, the company can't seem to find new management because they're in this gray area. And that is that Howard Schultz, who was the founder and the original creator of this thing, the man who built this to a juggernaut, is retired. He's aging out. It's not his fault. He's just getting older. And we need the new manager to take over, the new creator, the new visionary. And they can't find him because there isn't another Howard Schultz. It's like Steve Jobs. Who's taking over Apple to create all kinds of new product for Apple? Since Steve Jobs has passed away, what new products have Apple brought out to revolutionize everything to do with phones and computers and iPads? Nobody. Tim Cook's doing a great job managing the company and overseeing the company and making management decisions and distribution decisions and upgrades and new versions of the products. But is there a new thing coming from Apple that has changed the world since Steve Jobs passed away? No, that isn't happening. Once Google's senior management, top two guys, retire or pass away, like from old age, that might be decades from now. I don't know. I wish long life for everybody. What direction does Google go? What about Amazon? Look, Bezos is out. He's not running the company anymore. Jeff Bezos, 20 years from now, is Jeff Bezos even around anymore? I don't know. I mean, he's not 35 anymore like in 1990, like I was. Those days are over. So we all move on and the next generation comes in, but there is no new creator at Amazon to replace Jeff Bezos. There are managers now to replace Jeff Bezos. Caretakers. It's all they can be. Look, to be the number one guy at Amazon is a hell of an achievement. It is corporately and career-wise a phenomenal achievement. Tim Cook has made a phenomenal contribution to Apple, but he's not the creator, and he's not going to be, and he can't become the creator. And so with the Starbucks, Howard Schultz, who is coming in to visionarily change Starbucks from what it is to where it's going to go. And really, frankly, aren't we thinking that in the next 10 to 20 years, Starbucks will just be exactly like it is now, just in different locations? Could it be that Starbucks will close non-drive-through locations because their biggest business increase and their biggest potential to make money is from drive-throughs? Or is it the opposite? Will Starbucks go, we're going to maintain our drive-throughs where we can, but we're going to expand our offerings inside shopping malls or kiosks. We're going to be involved in office building food courts. We're going to, I don't know. I mean, what's the vision? I have no idea. I don't run Starbucks. Going to be interesting. Got a nice dividend, though, says the man. There you go. Sharon is here, number 66 thumbs ups. Thank you, Sharon. Mike, what is that, Smaj? My total account value is now up 23 grand. Out of the 25 grand needed to get out of day trader restriction jail, so I can start writing contracts again. I've been building it up for a month. Well done, dude. I think they either hired a new CEO or there is a rumor they are. I think the CEO was a former Chipotle guy. The man, dude, they hired CEO from Chipotle. Yeah, there it is. And Opal, Utah Jazz, the best. Okay, congrats. Welcome all to the program, and thank you for joining me today from wherever you are. Please consider becoming a member of this channel so you can comment. Going forward here, we restrict commentary eventually to just members only for the rest of the day. Tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, primetime live for Gold Bagel members. If you become a Gold Bagel member, you join me for that. You also will join me half an hour before this show begins every day, and we'll go from there. Thank you, all of you who are Gold Bagel members. Those of you also who have become a Gold Bagel member, if you would like to join the Discord chat group, you want to become Discord, send me a message. Send me an email and indicate to me that Bruce, this is my name. This is what I'm called. It's my Gold Bagel member name. I would like to become a part of the Discord group, and I will send you some information how you can join the Discord chat group. And that way you are in touch with other Gold Bagel members through that platform 24/7 and can compare notes and check in on how option trades are going, the best brokerage firms to use, logistics on rollovers, ideas on what to move into and what to avoid, all kinds of good things. Thank you all of you who have become part of this family. It is humbling, to say the least, that so many of you have joined us, especially the Gold Bagel members. We have more Gold Bagel members as members of this channel than regular members. That is telling. It is an indication of how valuable it is to be a Gold Bagel member of this channel. Thank you all very, very much. We have 72 thumbs up so far. Appreciate that. And on the poll question today, Mike, make sure so you can answer that. We've got 134 votes, almost 2-1 on thumbs ups. Thank you hitting the poll question. If you hit that poll question, hit the thumbs up button at the same time. If you like the fact that I put poll questions up most of the time, give us a thumbs up and encourage me to do it more often. I'd appreciate it. The question today is, I think the Magnificent Seven shares or stocks will hit new highs before the end of this year. They're going to hit newer highs. Some of these stocks are going to have to make a move. 70% say yes, 30% say I don't think so. Out of 137 so far and counting. Thank you all for participating in this poll question. I expect several hundred more responses before the show is done, and I appreciate you all for that. Thank you, everybody. The man is thinking Chipotle will be selling Starbucks in a month. I don't know about that. See what's going on here. What else is going on? Beach Boy, hey, yo, Flint, are you on Discord? And Puddin' Pie, the man, 100%. Larry Titus, good morning all, number 74 on the thumbs up meter. Yeah, if you want to talk to fellow Gold Bagel members on a constant basis, the Discord group, access to it is kind of restricted. You can't just show up and get in there. You're kind of, we're trying to screen out potential trolls and troublemakers and all that. We just want to have the family vibe we have here go over there. I don't run the Discord channel. I don't run the chat group. I'm not even on it. This is where you guys hang out amongst yourselves, and you can complain about me or not talk about me at all. Just talk about whatever you want to talk about. And there are subsections in the chat group to cover various areas of option trading as well. Once you get in there, you'll realize, oh my God, there's all kinds of areas I can go here and hang out in. And for some of you, it works very well. Some of you just you don't care for it. It's totally your call. It's nothing that you have to pay for. It's just an added feature that's connected to this channel. And if you're a Gold Bagel member, you're most welcome to come on in. And that's why, another reason why there are more Gold Bagel members here than non-Gold Bagel members. Again, just letting you know what the situation is. Thank you all for joining me today. Welcome to the party, pals. What is the market going to do? That is the ultimate question. Right now, I am showing SoFi trading at 673, up 9 cents. And we've got 1 million shares traded in the pre-market this morning on SoFi. This is a good sign. 1 million shares of pre-market trading on SoFi. Something's going on. I don't know what. I can't say why yet. If any of you know why it's trading 1 million shares in the pre-market, you let me know. But I don't have anything that I can point to. There's an article here that says "Buy alert: Why SoFi stock can double from here." That's a headline of an article. And the small cap stocks, SoFi grabs investors' attention despite shares decrease. That was out yesterday. And another a comment here: when interest rates come down, this fintech is primed for takeoff. That was out yesterday as well. So anyway, there you go. There's some positive articles out there. I don't know if that's the reason for SoFi's move. The realization of the fact that with today's inflation story being moderate and more moderate, the likelihood of interest rate drops in America might now be even stronger. The thinking in the street is, oh, it's a certainty. It's not a question of if interest rates are dropping in America in September, it's by how much. Are we going to see a 0.5 point drop as the first drop in interest rates, or a 1/4 point? If it's a 0.5 point, there's good and bad there. Good that it's aggressively lowering rates, but bad because that means the economy is worse than we thought. If it's a 1/4 point, it's good, it's starting to drop, but it's bad because it's not enough. So the Fed cannot make a decision that'll make everybody happy. Just like me being on this channel, whatever I say on this channel will not make all of you happy. And so I bought into that. The Fed knows to buy into that. And so let's see what gives. We open in 27 minutes. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lorraine, we love to talk about you. You are special. That can't be good. Dude, I like the SoFi. They got a heck of a chance here. There you go. Well, I'm a fan. And I believe that the ultimate price of the stock, the first target price that I'm looking at, $14.54. That's that works out to 727 times 2, $14.54. That is where the stock option that SoFi owns on its own stock through their private complicated financing they did, $835 million. That's the price of the shares. You get the stock to $14.54, and shareholders' equity value will jump by almost $2 a share instantaneously. That is a huge momentum breaker. That's it right there. So the stock from here to $14.54 is to be watched. Reaching $14.54, $20 a share. We could go right to 20. We break that because the company is in a position at that point to force debt conversion into common stock that is out there now. Not new stock, nothing to be issued from Treasury, stock that is free trading now, which will put a squeeze on the shorters by about 100 million shares, in my personal humble opinion. That's where I think this is going. We have 181 million shares shorted on this company. There are 1 billion shares free trading, so we're at almost 18% short interest. And with 100 million shares coming off the street, going into the hands of institutional long-term investors, this stock goes right to $20 a share. So between here, 675, $14.54, every dime closer to $14.54, this company's value is about to explode for its actual shareholders, because debt turns into stock and no new shares will be issued for that stock. So this is a huge turnaround. I think it's a 2-for-1. I think it's a $1.7 billion win for the company, for its book value, for its shareholders. And you're on your way. You will be then writing contracts on every share you have, every time you got all of you who have 100 shares or more, for every 100 you got, you're going to be writing call options, and you're going to be writing $20 to $25 strike price call options. You're going to bring in $2 to $5 a contract, and some of you are going to say to me, I can't believe that my average price is $7.50 a share, and I just brought in $5 in premium writing an option. That is two-thirds of the price that I paid for this stock, and this is my first premium in cash. I can't believe it. And you better believe it, because that's where we're going. It's going to happen. And yes, at $20 a share, at $25 a share, at $30 a share, the company is an S&P 500 stock, which puts this company's shares into the crosshairs. I don't know how to do that. Into the crosshairs of every institutional investor around the world. And any ETF, mutual fund, pension fund that tracks the S&P 500 performance will have to buy SoFi. They will have to buy it, and they will, without any reservation whatsoever, because it's an S&P 500 stock, and it'll be in the S&P 500 banking index. It'll be in all kinds of other sub-indexes around the world, and this stock will be picked up by thousands of institutional investors. I don't know how many millions of shares we're talking about. I don't know how many hundreds of millions of shares will be needed to be acquired of this company's stock. I don't know. But it is going to be very, very substantial, and it's going to ensure that these shares go much higher, 4 times higher than we are now, without even blinking. Will be a norm. So $25, $30 a share. Yeah, I'm prepared. I've been waiting. I'm prepared to wait it out. I don't like where it is. Do not like where it is. But then again, I like where it's going. I'm very comfortable knowing, in my mind, where this thing is going to go. So $14.54. That's the price. That's the first major milestone to look forward to. Good morning, everybody. You're here. Nice to see you all. Thank you for joining me. 183 of you are in the house. If you believe the SoFi upside, great. If you don't, it's okay. It's no big deal. If you're here, you're probably here more for option writing profitability than any other reason. You've decided, I don't know how I found this guy, but I found this guy, and I am interested in bringing money into my account, whether it's my retirement account or my margin account, from option writing. And I want to bring money from this market, but I don't want to risk money in a ridiculously stupid kind of way. I'm not interested, and I don't believe that I can be the luckiest person in the world to buy a stock at $1 a share, and an hour later it's $100 a share. I just don't think that's me. I just don't think that's going to happen. And this YouTuber is telling you, I'm not going to give you that trade. I can't give you that kind of a trade, because if I could, why would I tell you? Why would I tell you that you can make 100 times your money in an hour? I wouldn't have a channel. I would just be quietly picking up the stock myself and going, thank you very much. I'm Mr. Anonymous. I just made myself a billionaire. Now, that's not going to happen. No, here we make money from gamblers who are so full of themselves and so confident that they can make 10 times, 20 times, 100 times their money buying options on stocks without understanding what the hell it is they're buying, why they're paying what they're paying, how they're going to get their butts handed to them in days or weeks or months. We take money from gamblers who are gambling in the option market, and there are tens of millions of them at a time in this market, all over the place. On every stock imaginable, there are gamblers everywhere taking long shot bets to try to score a big home run on calls or puts. This channel's viewers just write contracts that are trading up here, that are going to trade down here in a short amount of time. And this channel's viewers buy back contracts for a fraction of what they sell them for and keep the change. And sometimes viewers make $50 a contract. They'll only make a 50-cent profit on a trade, but they do it 20 times over. They'll do 20 contracts at $50 a contract. They make $1,000. Other times I have viewers who will take in $3 on a trade. They'll write a contract at $6 and buy it back at $3, and they've done that 10 times. They just made $3,000 on their trade. And then I have viewers who write 100 to 500 contracts at a time in at any level you can imagine. I have viewers here who have made $1 a contract, $100 a contract, times 500 contracts in a shot. I have seen viewers here who write one contract for $1.50 and buy it back for $1 and go, I made $50. Hey, this was really easy. I made $50 on this contract. And all I did was I offered 100 shares of stock that I have in a certain company at a set price higher than what it's trading at for a month. And every day that went by, the stock didn't go over that price. It was just trading in its range and didn't reach the set price that I put it at. No one wanted to buy the stock from me at a higher price than the market. And the contract I wrote just kept shrinking in value. And I sold it for $150. I bought it back for $100, and I'm up $50. I still have my shares. I don't want to sell my shares. I love the shares of this company. I'm going to hold these shares forever. 5 years, 10 years, a long time. In the meantime, I'll write contracts offering my shares at a premium price and take the shrinkage of these contracts. I'm going to do this again and again and again. If I can do this every month, I can do this trade 12 times a year. And if I can bring in $50 every time I do this contract, 12 times a year, I'm making $600 on my shares. On my 100 shares, they are paying me $600 for the year to hold them and offer them for sale at higher prices. That's all I'm doing. I'm bringing in $600 from this 100 share position. Some of you are sitting there going, I have 1,000 shares of a stock, and I can bring in $2 every time I write contracts because my contracts are trading at $5 and they go down to $2. Why don't I sell them at $5 and buy them back at $3 and do that 12 times a year? Well, that's $2,000, 10 contracts. 200 a contract times 10 is $2,000 in profit 12 times a year. That's $24,000 a year on one stock position. Can you handle a gain of cash flow into your account of $24,000 a year that you're not getting now? Will that help in any way whatsoever? It should help retirement accounts that are out there. If you're 45 years old and you got a $70,000 retirement account and you're putting in $300 a month and your employer's putting in $300 a month, that's $600 a month. It's growing by $7,200 a month by the money you're putting into it. Well, what about if you could write contracts that bring you $2,000 a month additionally to that? So you're putting in $7,000 and the market is giving you $24,000 more. You're growing your pension plan by $31,000 a month. It's a $70,000 account. It's growing by $30,000 a year now. There you go. 5 years from now, just at that level, you're $150,000 larger. You've tripled the value of your retirement. You're going to compound your returns. Believe me, you're not going to sit there with $24,000 a year return. It's going to compound itself. The money you're putting in, the money you're making, is going to allow you to generate $3,000 a month, which is $36,000 a year. Then $4,000 a month, which is $48,000 a year towards your retirement. Then $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year to your retirement. So if in your last 5 years of working, from 50 to 55, you can add $60,000 a year into your retirement account or more, that $70,000 account you had 7-8 years ago is now $500,800,000 and larger. Hello, you have a shot at retiring with dignity, and you're not going to run out of money at age 72 or 74 or 76 after you drain it. This is an opportunity to grow your retirement account and make it grow faster than you could possibly drain it out. That's the game plan. You got to have more money in your retirement account 10 years after you retire than when you retired. It's got to be bigger. If it isn't, you are going to lose that dough. That dough will drain out, and you will then be on Social Security only for the rest of your life. And if you're going to live until 95 because you're one of the healthy ones, you're one of the lucky ones, your last 20 years in poverty, because Social Security is not going to give you the lifestyle you want. I can assure you of that. There are people in trailer parks. There are people who are homeless, who have pensions, who have Social Security only, and they're living in 15-year-old RVs parked on the side of roadways in America's most incredible cities. They can't afford to even move the RV because the engine doesn't work anymore. It's been parked at this spot for 5 years. And their only hope of moving is to sell this thing to somebody else and move into another RV somewhere else. That's it. That's their upside. Their upside is another RV. Do you want to be anywhere near this? Do you want to be dependent on your children to carry you forward? You want to live in your children's basement? I don't think you want to do that. There are people out there who are homeless because they were living in their children's basements and the couple upstairs got a divorce and now they got to get out. And mom and dad have nowhere to go. And they find temporary housing somewhere, and then shortly after that, they're living in their cars or they're living in a tent somewhere. They're living under a highway. How many horror stories are in America and in Canada and elsewhere of people through no fault of their own, other than they were left high and dry by their employers. They were let go at age 52 and they couldn't get a new job that paid the bills. They were promised all kinds of wonderful things by their kids, their son-in-laws, their daughter-in-laws, the husbands, and it all didn't work out. Within 3 years, it all blew up. And now you have single parents who lost their spouses or couples who are homeless, and they are living in dire scenarios. This channel here, I'm just trying to tell you guys, if you're in your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s, you're still working, you can make additional income on the side or grow your retirement right now by being an option writer. If you're in your 60s and 70s and 80s, and you are retired, likely, and you do have funds inside a Roth IRA of some kind, or you can self-manage your own wealth, you notice that your retirement savings are dwindling, you might be coming to me going, show me how I can increase the revenue coming into my account, because all I'm getting right now are dividends from stocks that I've got or ETFs that I have. Can I bring in a higher income level into my account so that I don't drain it as quickly, or I can avoid it draining at all? Or can you help me grow it from here? Help me out. Every one of you is different. I don't have one simple answer for all of you, except to say that if you learn how to write options, you have a source of income coming to you from an angle that is where it's just your money working harder for you. That's the bottom line. And you are now going to take over how to handle your own option writing. Whereas right now you might be managed by a wealth advisory company of some kind. I have no idea. There are so many entities out there who are trying to help you manage your money. There are companies who want you to refinance your house on these what are they called? These mortgages where you don't, you sell your house to a mortgage company for money and you're supposed to live off of that. And then when you die, the house goes to the mortgage company. Reverse mortgages, there's that nonsense. There's the insurance scams that are going on where people are trying to get you to cash in your life insurance and take a small percentage of the money that is actually worth. And it's just, there are nightmare stories out there. And it comes back down to this. If you're going to depend on someone else to handle your finances for you, they're going to handle your finances for them. They're not going to handle them for you. You're going to get the smallest payoff of all the parties. And if you think about it, why is it that there are entities out there who are specialists at handling your money for you, and they talk to you about all the upsides? You have a more comfortable retirement, a more secure way of living in your golden years. When anyone who reads the fine print, especially a lawyer, reads the fine print on your behalf, which many people don't go to, will yell at you and go, don't sign that deal. Don't take that deal. No, do not take that deal. You're giving away all the upside of your insurance policy or your house appreciation value. You're giving it all away for no good reason. it's too late for me to save tens of millions of people from this ridiculousness over the last 20 years. This has been going on. These outfits are thriving. These companies thrive and are making a killing from their victims. Sorry to say, again, this is my opinion. You don't have to believe me. Check it out for yourself, whatever. But if you can step up and manage your own assets and be willing to learn how to do it, you will cut out a middleman or two or three that is between your capital and your net return. And you may find shockingly that when you take over control of your own money, that you're making 20 to 25% returns on your capital versus the 3, 4, 5% returns that you were being told is normal on your capital, the before and after picture. And this could be everything. This could be the difference between making it and not making it. Anyone out there with $500,000 of assets, and if you're giving away between 2 and 5% of the value of your asset as fees, built in, upfront, or hidden, you're paying $25,000 a year in fees right now. $500 a week in fees are coming out of your account, being taken away from your upside, where you could be making 8 to 10% on a super boring conservative move. You're only getting 3% or 4%. You become an option writer and you can bring in 30% versus 3 or 4. You're making $150,000 on your money every year. Are you pulling $150,000 out? Probably not. This is where your account can grow as you get older. In other words, you're getting richer even as you've retired. Completely opposite of all your friends, all your relatives who long ago did reverse mortgages, sold their insurance policy plans, have their funds being managed for them by all these so-called experts on Wall Street, and getting poorer and poorer and poorer every month. Inflation has been eating them alive. Even if it is a little lower now, it's still a nightmare. I saw something yesterday that I glanced at for a second, and I went, "Holy crap!" I was at a drugstore yesterday. Here in Canada, they're called Shoppers Drug Marts. We have them across the country. They're kind of like CVS in the U.S. Big outfit. And Jennifer was looking for something to take on our trip, and I was just walking down the one aisleway, and I just glanced over, and I saw this. I saw a container of Tums. Nothing sexy about this. It was the 160 chewable tablets, 1,000 milligrams, the big bottle. I used to buy those for $9.95 Canadian 2 years ago. When I bought them at that time, they'd be $10. Sometimes they're on sale for $9, but usually they were $10. Yesterday, I just glanced over and saw a bottle of this stuff, which I didn't need it. Just looked at it and went, "Oh, Tums, $15 for Tums, $15 for a bottle of Tums." And I thought, how much does it cost this company to make these little tablets of antacid pills? This is not a medicated pharmaceutical product. It's available at every grocery store in America, in Canada. Every corner store sells this stuff. This is available everywhere. How many billions of these do they make, pills, a year? The cost to make one of these is what, a penny and a quarter? There's 160 of them in this bottle. What did it cost them? $1.60 to make them? To package it, for the bottle and the labeling and all. Was it $2? What do you retail? What do you wholesale it for? $4, $5, $6 to the store, and then they mark it up. $15 at retail. $15 for this thing. I couldn't believe it. I went, wow. The so-called 3% inflation world we're in, that's not here. Tums didn't go up 3% a year for the last 3 years. You got to be kidding me. A $10 bottle, a 3% increase would be $10.30. And then 3% the next year would make it $10.65. And then another 3% increase would take it to $11.05. $15. That's what it's done. 50% increase in the cost of a bottle of Tums. 50%. in 2.5 years. Who's making money here? Who is making that return? Margins have exploded for either the retailer, the wholesaler, the manufacturer, or all of the above. It's the ripoff of the middle class and the lower middle class of North America and probably around the world. And you can tell me the horror stories of any product you're buying anywhere you go. If you're going into a local CVS or whatever your drugstores are in the United States, or you're going into Targets, you're going into Walmarts, you're going into Costco's, wherever you're shopping, everything that you need hasn't gone up 3% a year for the last 2 years. Everything you need has gone up 40 to 60% in the last 2 years. Every single item that just you buy, for some reason, you are buying products that seem to be going up in price beyond reason, beyond way crazier than the 1970s when I remember 15% inflation. Prices didn't go up 50% for a bottle of Tums in a year and a half or 2 years back in the 70s. That didn't happen. It's happening now. Who's winning on this game? Who's cashing in? Have you noticed how many Dow 30 companies have declared bankruptcy in the last 5 years? None. I'll save you the time. How many S&P 500 companies have actually gone broke in the last 3 years? A handful, if that. Virtually none. How many are on the brink of bankruptcy? None. They can pass on the cost increases to the next guy and the next guy and to then us with impunity, without any penalty whatsoever. We can pay it. We are actually richer in cash flow today than we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and 20 years ago. We have more cash in our hands due to inflation because we too have generated revenue. But we're coughing up more money for certain products than we ever have in the past. It is truly stunning what's going on out there. That just blows my mind. So, as an option writer, you got to bring in cash to offset these ridiculous inflationary hits, and you've got to fight the inflationary depreciation game that's going on, and you have to build your capital quickly now to avoid being destitute later, because I guarantee you, poverty is coming to get you and many of your friends and relatives, and they don't believe it. They don't believe it. They think, oh, I'll be getting raises every year, and I'll just add $50 a month to my pension plan. Don't worry, I won't be broke. They're not thinking. They can't possibly imagine what's going to happen to them. It's going to be devastating. And those of you who are in your 30s, 40s, 50s now, you're proactive if you're here. You are taking control today of your future 20 years from now, because you've realized he's right, because my parents my parents' standard of living has been dropping since they retired. My grandparents started off with a very comfortable retirement, and by the time they entered their last 10 years of life, they were just getting by. And my granddad was a master's degree holder as an engineer and a da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You had very successful family members, some of you out there, and you've noticed even they are losing to the standard of living wars that are going on. It's coming for you. You cannot get caught in this trap. Thank you for joining me today. I cannot begin to tell you how much I appreciate you being here. Those of you who become members of this channel and are tolerating the old man's rants, thank you so much. I want you to get rich. Believe me, I want all of you to make money in this market, and I'll do whatever I can to find ways to guide you in the right direction and hopefully keep you away from stupid mistakes that others are making out there, and stay away from these long shot desperate trades. Please, please, please. Thank you all so much. 105 thumbs ups and counting. We're opening now for trading. Appreciate you. The poll question has attracted 192 answers. Thank you for popping in on that. 69% are saying the Magnificent Seven will hit new highs by the end of the year. 31% are saying, no, that's not going to happen. We might be up, but we're not going to hit new highs. Interesting poll results so far. Keep them coming. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the party, pal. Let's see if we can see if a whole bunch of you are going to become richer today. Something tells me it's likely going to happen. Thank you all for popping through here. We're up and running. We're open for trading, and let's see how this market takes care of all of you today. Giddy up, kids. I see the Dow up just a point at the moment. I've got Broadcom up $1.95. I've got EI Lilly up $3.36 to $911. Nice recovery there. AI is up 34 cents today. GameStop up 32, SoFi up 12, Nvidia up $1.97. So we've got some nice green starts here. Go SoFi, go GameStop, go AI, go all of you guys. That would be fine by me. Rocket Lab is recovering a bit. We're up a dime today to 5.33. Matterport is up a penny. SmartRent up 15 cents. Now to 153. We've got ME unchanged. Apple's down 68 cents. Tesla's up 7. Google down 136. Microsoft up 170. Netflix up 940. Meta up 240. Amazon up 150. It's gains across the board to start the day. And we'll see how this sets up as the day continues on. And we'll figure it out. There's a headline saying that NVIDIA is up for a third day in a row right now. And I kind of wonder, I was mentioning this to my Gold Bagel members this morning on the Gold Bagel update show, just for Gold Bagel members, 8 o'clock to 8:30 every morning. I was mentioning to those kids this morning that, look, guys, the NVIDIA stock, the earnings, the second quarter earnings for NVIDIA come out in 2 weeks, the 28th of August. Jen and I will be on the North Atlantic on the Queen Mary 2 at that time. I'll be following that story. What's going to happen to NVIDIA stock between now and the 28th? What is the stock going to do? The stock had been rising lately because a week ago we touched the 90s. We were in the $90 range for a while. That didn't last, as you've quickly noticed. We quickly went back to the 103, 105 level. Then we got to the 110 level. And now we're at the 117.50 level right now. The high for NVIDIA, 140. The low for the year is much lower than this, but the low in the last 3 or 4 months seems to be in this $90 level, which would have been $900 a share before the split, 10 for 1. So we're at 117 right now, which is $1,170 is where we're at right now on NVIDIA. The question is, will NVIDIA stock reach new higher levels, 125, 135, just before earnings come out? Would it be possible that all the options that are trading on NVIDIA that expire that Friday, the Friday after that, and going forward several Fridays, will all those option contracts between 110 and 140, calls and puts, will they all go up in value, in cost, because of higher premiums, because the expected volatility is going to increase? The fact that the minute they release the results, the shares could be up or down 10 to 15%. Is that a possibility? And that could create higher premiums on options contracts. Now, this is a good and bad thing. This is a good thing. If you're a shareholder of the company and your attitude is, I don't care if they take me out. You want to buy my stock from me at a higher price than what we're trading at right now? I'm prepared to pay right now $117.07 for this stock. And I'm prepared right now to write $125 to $130 call options on this stock. I'll buy 200 shares and write 2 calls right now. And I'm looking to collect between $10 to $15 a share, depending on how long the contract exists, whether it's a 2-month lifeline or a lifetime or a January 2025, 4 or 5 months from now. Give me $14, $15 a share. I dare you. I'll take the money. 125 buyout plus $15 a share. I'm selling for $140 a share, which is the all-time high. The so-called once hit $140 share. Because the attitude that you have is, I'll buy it for 117 and you can take me out for 140. Why? Because I just made $23 a share profit on $117 stock. Why wouldn't I take that kind of money? Thank you very much. May I have another? I will buy back the stock you took from me at 125 a share plus the premium. I'll just buy them back. If the shares go to 130 and you take me out, I just got taken out at 140. The stock's trading at 130. I'll just buy it back for 130 immediately. And now I'm going to write $140 contracts for 4 or 5 months out and take another $15 a share, which means I'm offering the stock for 155 a share. Come and get me. Not a problem. So if the volatility of this move moves the market higher and you get exercised, you don't care. You're just going to buy back the stock and write another contract for $15 again or more and say anytime. 2 contracts at $15 a piece. Those are $1,500 contracts times 2. That's 3,000 cash in your hand, in your account now. Now, if this is inside your retirement account, that's worth $30,000, $40,000. You can buy 200 shares for $23,000. You can buy 200 shares for 23 grand or so, and bring in 3 grand right now in cash. That cash is in your retirement account. It's sitting there tax free, and you can just fold your arms and go ahead. Yeah, the stock goes up through 125. You'll probably take me out. I dare you to take me out. I'm selling at 140. That's what I get. 200 times 140 net is $28,000. This cost me 23 grand to get. I didn't just make $3,000 on the premiums. I added $8 on this contract because I'm writing a 125 contract. The stock's only 117. You got to give me 1,600 more just on the stock. So I've made money on the movement of the stock and the premiums. Thank you very much. Let's do this every month. Anytime. I'm open for business. I'll buy back 200 shares and write another 2 contracts. Take me out. I'll buy back the 200 shares and write another 2 contracts. Every time, buddy. Every time. Just give it to me. I'll take $23 a share times 200 shares, $4,600 every month for a year in my retirement account. I just added 50 grand, 52 grand to my retirement account. It was worth 30,000 when I started. It's worth 80 now. Guess what I'm doing? I'm not buying 200 shares anymore. I'm buying 400 shares at a time. I'm buying 500 shares back at a time. I'm writing 5 contracts now. I'll get taken out. I'll buy back the stock. Maybe I'll buy 600 shares now. I may have enough cash to buy 600 shares, and I'll write 6 contracts at $15 a piece, $9,000. I used to get 3,000. Then I was getting 4,500. Then I was getting $6,000. I'm now getting $9,000 handed to me in my retirement account. I can't add that much personally from my own paycheck. I'm getting more money. My retirement account growing faster than I can contribute to it. That is the point. That is what's supposed to happen. Why don't you make it happen in your 30s and 40s rather than wait until your 70s and 80s? Make it happen now. Learn how to write stock options. Conservative strategies. This is so conservative, it's boring. Those who do this are saying to me, man, Bruce, you're making me yawn all the time. Writing these contracts, man, is this ever quiet? Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about. We're making money on a conservative basis that is compounding into retirement accounts that is going to change your retirement life completely compared to where you're headed right now. Where you're headed right now is the poorhouse. Where you're going with this kind of a strategy is travel wherever you want around the world in your 60s. Spend time with your kids and grandkids in your 70s. Enjoy the second home in Arizona, Florida, or wherever you're going to, wherever you're going from, whether you're Canadian or American. You're European, you're spending your winters in Mallorca, you're spending your winters in the Canary Islands, you're spending your winters in Malta. I don't know. Where do you want to be in your 50s, 60s, and 70s as a comfortably retired person that is not living off of Social Security? You want your Social Security check to be spending money. That's all you want it to be. You just want that check to be, blow it on some nice restaurants and some wine, and rent a hotel for an Airbnb for a week and get the kids over and just spending money. That's all you want that to be. You don't want that Social Security check to be your mortgage, your rent, your groceries, your medications, bandages, necessary repairs on your house. You don't want to live off that money. You want that to be mad money. Just do whatever you want with it. Because what you're living on are the money that the dollars you're making now here, writing stock options and compounding your return inside your retirement account, compounding returns inside your investing account to let you quit your job earlier and enjoy retirement a lot sooner than you ever thought. That's what we're trying to do here. There are lessons available for you on how to do this. If you've been here a while, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new, here's my website. There are 17 classes waiting for you here. How to write stock options. What are poor man covered calls? What are cash secured puts? How do credit spreads work? All in plain English. But I'm going to guarantee you this right now. Many of you who watch me are not going to take these classes because, one, you think I'm full of crap. Two, you don't have the desire. You think you do, but you don't. You're not made of the right stuff. You're not desperate enough yet. You just think that you're going to find the lucky break that's going to make it all work out. Some of you, and I hate to be critical, but there are some of you out there who are sitting there, and you're watching me, and you're going, Bruce, I don't have to do anything you talk about because my parents are going to die in the next 10 years because they're very ill. And I'm going to inherit all this money from them. And I don't have to do anything. I don't want to insult any of you, but this is a fact of life. You know someone, all of you know someone who thinks this way. You know friends, you know former coworkers, you know golfing buddies, you know people you've known for years and years and years, from college to high school to whatever. You know people who are sitting back going, I don't have to worry about saving money. My grandparents are passing away, or my parents are passing away, and I'm going to get half the estate, and I don't have to worry about it. I got bad news for you guys because the amount you're going to get and the amount that is might be what you're looking at as more money than you've ever seen in your lifetime. And you're going, oh, wow, this is great. I'm richer now than I've ever been before. The problem is that your spending habits are going to catch up with your income habits, and you're going to blow this money, and you're going to blow the opportunity to compound this. By the time you get that dough, you should be a prolific option writer in your own right, so that when this capital comes into your hands, you can reallocate it to make it work for your option writing techniques to compound your returns to levels that now will take care of your kids and your grandkids. The problem is there are so many people out there who only think of themselves. They're not thinking of their children or their grandchildren. They're thinking of just their own needs, and they're not thinking of the big picture. I'm trying to wake some of you up with a Will Smith dope slap. Wake the hell up and figure it out. Look forward a decade, 2 decades, and 3 decades from now, and try to figure out, how old will your children be in 20 years from now? How old will you be? The relatives all around you, your closest friends and advisors, people that you hang out with, how many will not be alive in 20 to 25 years from now? The passage of time is not a wonderful thing from time to time. It's a nasty, never-ending draining of everything. We lose people around us as we get older. That's a fact of life. Are you prepared, and are you ready to be able to handle your own affairs? Are you leaning on one person in your family for most of your support? Are you self-reliant? Can you be? Do you want to become self-reliant? These are just questions that you have to ask yourself. The day of reckoning comes for all of us eventually. We all get to it. Some of us are born with it. We know at age 25, yeah, I know this is coming. Others take until they're 45. Others wait until they're 60 to figure out, oh my God, my parents are gone. I only have my mother left, and I'm looking after her needs. My dad is alive, but he's not doing too well, and he's broke. I've been subsidizing his lifestyle for the last 5 years out of love and respect and familial obligations. But the reality is, when he dies, I got to cut a check to help bury this guy. There's nothing there. Is that going to happen to me? Am I going to do this too? Do I need to live with my children for my last 10 years of life because they can't afford to put me in a senior center? We don't have that kind of cash. Welcome to Reality 101. Look, kids, I want you to get rich. There's many reasons why you need to get rich and become successful. Many reasons, some of which are these. Ain't pleasant to talk about, but you better be aware of it. Just saying. We're up 74 on the Dow. Thank you, Dow Jones. Inflation seems to be calming. Thank you for that. Interest rate cuts might be coming. Great. Will it make SoFi go to $10 a share next week? I don't think so, but it would be nice if it did. We're at 672 on SoFi, up 9. Thank you. Let's add another 9 cents and another 9 cents. Let's get going through 7. GameStop up 21 cents a share. The company's sitting on $4.2 billion in cash. They're not going anywhere. This company will be around a long time. I just don't know what GameStop will look like a year from now. I have no idea what the GameStop Corporation will be a year from now. No idea. Will the stores and the retail operation be packaged up and sold to a private investment company over here for cash? And GameStop, the public company, will be sitting on $6 billion in cash, $8 billion in cash. I don't know. And will it become an investment company? Will it just become a diversified entity that buys into all kinds of other companies? Stick around. It's going to be an interesting ride. We'll see what happens. 22.42 on GameStop, up 15 cents. Option writers, way to go. AI up 25 cents. We got the Dow up 16 points. We've got NVIDIA down 60 cents. Welcome to the fluctuating market. We've got Apple down 12 cents, Tesla down 360, Google down 360, Microsoft is up 94, Netflix is up $10, Meta up 248, Amazon up 93. Let's go back to Google for a minute. There's talk out there, rumors out there, speculation building that it might come down to the point where Google will be ordered by government to break up into smaller pieces. That the Google company is too powerful as one entity to be allowed to continue to exist. They won't be allowed to do any mergers and takeovers with anybody else. They can't get into any other kind of business. They'll run into all kinds of restrictions from these anti-competitive boards around the world. I'm not talking America only. I'm talking globally. So maybe, possibly, Google might find that the best thing to do for Google and its company and its shareholders is to break this company into 3 pieces, 4 pieces. And if you own 100 shares of Google, you're going to end up owning 400 shares of Google-related companies. You might have 100 shares of YouTube. You might have 100 shares of cloud computing, blah, blah, blah. You might have 100 shares of internet advertising, whatever. Well, I don't know what they're going to call these divisions. But there might be 4 companies created out of 1. And that means 4 publicly traded companies, 4 boards of directors, 4 CEOs, and they're all separate from each other. And you as a Google shareholder will have 4 100-share blocks in 4 different companies. That might be the future of Google someday. Might be just 2 stocks. It might be 3. I don't know. I have no idea. And then each stock trades on its own merits. You might become, down the road, even if you're a deep in the money shareholder of a deep in the money option holder of Google, you're writing poor man cover calls right now. You may find that an announcement comes out in the next 3 to 6 months that states that Google is looking to split into different divisions. You've got 2026, 2027 contracts that you're long on, call options, deep in the money. You may find that in the next few months, you're going to close out your option positions against your Google stock and just hold your deep in the money calls. And let's say you've got 10 of them. I'm just using a number. You got 10 of them. And the shareholder vote is taken and it's approved and the company splits into 4 different pieces. You're going to end up with 4 different deep in the money calls. Because these companies split into 4, you're now going to have 4 different options. And you're going to write contracts on all 4. And that's 10 on this one, 10 on this one, 10 on this one. This is assuming a straight 4-for-1 split. Now, it could get more complicated. It could be that one division of Google, you're going to have 200 shares for every 100 shares of Google. You're going to have 200 of this one. You're going to have 200 shares of this second company. You're going to have 300 shares of this one, and you're just going to have 100 shares of this one. and you add it all up and go, oh, my 100 shares of Google have turned into 1,000 shares of 4 different companies all combined. As an option holder, you're going to go from 1 contract to 10 contracts. 3 of this one, 2 of this one, 2 of this one, whatever this is. And now you're writing on that. It could be incredibly complex. Hang around a while, and we'll run through it, because I'll try to explain it to you in plain English when I know more. At the moment, I got nothing. I've only seen headlines and speculation that maybe in the next while, Google will be forced to consider the possibility that it might have to split into different companies. That's all I got. And when I know more, you'll know more. And we'll see if there are opportunities there for some of you where I might encourage you to get your hands on Google stock. Just become a shareholder to be on record a shareholder of that company when the split takes place. Because in the first year after the split, you might find that you calculate what your 100 shares cost you to get the Google stock and what are all the shares you have now worth collectively. And you may find, oh, I'm up 50%. These parts of Google trade, each of them at a higher level than what I got them for, because the sum of the parts is worth more than the whole at the moment. And you might be finding, yeah, I'm writing options on 4 different stocks, and 2 of them are really making me money. 2 of them are, they're okay, but nothing great. But 2 of them are just delivering me premiums like you can't believe. You may find that in a year you're selling this one and selling this one and putting the dough from these 2 into the 2 you want. And now you've got this many shares of this one, this many shares of that one, and you're writing calls on both of those. Knock yourself out. Deep in the money calls, we'll talk about it. Cash secured puts, we'll talk about it. There could be all kinds of stuff going on. Just saying, just giving you a shot across the bow to let you understand just what's going on. Corinne, number 116, thumbs up, Bruce. Thank you. J-Boy, what's going on? Where's everybody today? Larry, for me, meetings as usual, working with Europe before they all go home for the day. Burrow King Sound, good morning, everybody. Number 117, dude, I know an example. Dude, I got a coworker who is set to inherit a chunk and doesn't save. There you go. This story about people who are lazy and are just thinking, I don't have to work very hard. I don't have to save. I'm going to be inheriting hundreds of thousands of dollars when mom and dad pass away, or dad finally dies, or my mom dies, or my grandparents are, they just passed away a month ago and the estate's being divvied up and I'm getting $200,000. I don't have to save. I got it made. Between my grandparents and my parents, I'm going to inherit $1 million over the next 10 years. I don't have to worry about the future. Fair enough. If it's 20 million, great. But if it's a couple 100,000, that ain't going to carry you very far. If you're 40 years old now and you think that by age 60, your 200,000 is going to carry you for the rest of your life, I got bad news for you. You're in trouble. You better understand how this money can be working for you now. Lorraine, yes, they didn't work for it, so they will blow it. I take care of all my mom's finances. Her house is worth $1.8 million. I removed myself from the trust. I believe Google got permission to link with Microsoft, says Lorraine. Splair, until now, it's looking good. Markets thumbs ups, Bruce. We're looking okay. Well, here we are. We're up 93 on the Dow right now. It's not down 93. It's up 93. Thank you. We've got AI up 9 cents. GameStop up a nickel. SoFi up 3 cents. Not big moves, but not down moves so far. So fair enough. Google is off $4. Nvidia is off $1.19. Facebook is up $4.80. That's Meta. We have Tesla down $5. So we've got some of the Magnificent Seven not doing well. Spiders are down 30 cents, but it's a mixed bag. Welcome to the market. There you have it. Yes, folks, some of you do know people, without question. You do know people who are just counting on inheriting wealth to take care of everything. And it's human nature. What do you want? You went to high school, you went to grade school, you went to university, you joined a corporation company, maybe a small mom and pop company or a medium-sized company or a large company when you started working for a living. And all your lives, all of your lives, you saw achievers, you saw overachievers, and you saw pretenders. And there were some folks who just chilled and did nothing, and others who just over excelled in everything they did. You are one of those categories, and welcome to the world. This is just the way it is. And for some of you out there, you're noticing that certain relatives or friends or coworkers are going to be lazy, shiftless bastards for the rest of their lives. And you can predict. You're sitting back going, well, yeah, I know. I remember 5 years ago, a coworker of mine that I worked with at a company back here did get $250,000 from an estate. And they quit their job and they went traveling for a year. And then a year later, they were looking for work because they were down to 50 grand. They were down to $50,000. They blew 200 grand in a year. And they bought a car and it's looking pretty rough. And they rented a nicer place, or they didn't pay down their mortgage. And now they've got a higher mortgage payment because interest rates have gone up. They're going back to work now. Others of you have seen the opposite. You've seen someone inherit $200,000, $400,000, and they didn't change a damn thing. They kept going to work. They paid off their mortgage and are mortgage free, and they've used the savings from that to plow it into retirement accounts, plow it into savings, and 5 years later, they've taken $200,000-300,000 and have turned that now into $1 million of added wealth to their names, because the house they're in went up $300,000 in value, and they don't own a dime on it. So they were 200 in the hole. Now they're 500 to the good. 300,000 gain plus 200,000 equity they paid off. They're 500,000 richer just on their house, and the rest of the dough they put into savings and compounded it, and they've added to it, and they're still working. But they're $1 million forward now in wealth than where they were a few years ago. They got that 15-year boost right now, 15-year boost to their wealth. Congratulations. They're still going to work. They're still going to keep working until retirement. But when they retire, they'll have 2, 3, 4, 5 million in wealth to live off of, where they would have had $1 million in wealth, $1.5 million. Now it's 4 or 5. You've seen both sides of this. Here you are with me trying to figure out this side gig, how to make money on the side, writing options for myself, for our account that it's our margin account, and we need this capital to pay off debts and lower our cost of living with lower interest charges on our credit cards, whatever. Those of you who are going, we're just adding this to savings. We're just compounding this account and growing it. We're trading inside our IRAs and our margin account, and we're building both our retirement account and our savings and our personal wealth. And for some of you, it's the race to get out of an ugly situation. And both of you, you and your spouse are working full time, and the first order of business is to get one of you to not work full time anymore, or to at least get a gig for both of you where you can stay home and work from home now, so that one of you has the ability to look after all the kids' needs, because you don't want the children alone after school. You don't want them in daycare, preschool. You want to be the parent to take them to dance class, soccer practice, swimming club, whatever you're doing with those kids. You are going to be mom and dad time, big time. This is the number one priority right now because of the age you're at. Those of you who have got the kids out of the house, you're empty nesters. Now you're building capital coming in so that you can do several moves in the next couple of years. One of which is goodbye day job. Number 2, goodbye house. We're selling the house and we're downsizing. We are moving to Sarasota. We are going to travel for 2 years and put our stuff in storage. Whatever your game plan is, you've got the freedom now to decide and make your move. Congratulations, all of you who have made these moves, are making these moves, are analyzing this life, this new life, because time changes everything. Thank you all very much.
Is on our side. Yes, it is.
I
still don't have my voice back.
I'm not alone. I'm not alone anymore. Hi, Auntie Jen. How are you?
We're not in Kansas anymore.
We're not in Kansas anymore, kids. Welcome, Auntie Jen. Are we getting excited about our trip? 5 days. We're out of here.
I know. I am, actually, yeah.
We're in the Big Apple. We're in New York in 5 days.
We like New York.
We like New York. We love New York. We're going to be in the Big Apple in 5 days. Oh, my goodness.
And then transatlantic liner.
Calm. Yes, yeah. And then getting on the Queen Mary 2 for a transatlantic crossing to Southampton. 1 week.
Hanging on to the bars in third class as the water comes higher and higher.
Begging the Cunard,
the porter, or whoever he is,
unlock these gates so we can go up to the upper deck and jump into the water like everyone else.
We can't get off.
There's water behind us. We're drowning.
The windows
we hit an iceberg. It's like the Titanic. I don't think that's going to happen.
No?
I wonder if they show the movie Titanic on board the QE2 when you cross the Atlantic.
I don't know.
I wonder if they show that movie to everybody.
Do you think airplanes ever show airplane disaster movies?
Yeah. Do they? Can you download the movie Airport with Dean Martin, or other movies like that on an airplane?
Possibly you could do like what was it called? Airplane, the one with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, right. Yeah, Airplane. That's right. Surely you must be kidding. My name is not Shirley.
I told you before.
I told you before. My name isn't Shirley. Oh my goodness. J Boy says, you know what? My parents won $500,000 on a scratch off.
Get out.
They lost it all gambling. There you go.
Oh,
boy,
no.
Isn't that incredible? Dude says, I know a couple too. I've got friends that both work full-time with their house paid off, plus tons of cash not invested. They don't invest except in mutual funds. There you are. Yeah, there are those. Puddin' Pie, J-Boy, yikes, lost it all gambling. Dude says, I tell them all about options, and they think it seems like a lot of effort, meanwhile. And I think they're scared of losing it all. That's a real fear people have when it comes to the market. I know.
Because...
Yeah.
People,
Richard Collins says,
lose all your money in options.
Richard Collins says, good morning, Auntie Jen. Larry Titus, good morning, Auntie Jen.
Morning,
Dude, good morning, Auntie Jen.
Dude.
D.H. Ruda, sing it, Auntie Jen. That's my option song. Jay Gill, good morning, Auntie Jen. There you go.
Good morning, John.
There you go. Yep. It's something that Jen and I have figured out that is becoming very obvious to both of us. Yesterday, we went for a little walk to see a friend of ours we haven't seen in a long time for dinner, and we had to walk something like 7 blocks to get there. And after the second block, we had to slow down.
I think you're being generous by saying it was the second block.
We had to slow down. Winded, out of shape. Yes.
I think I was running a marathon.
Jen was definitely feeling it. I slowed down.
I have no stamina yet.
The stamina scenario. This is another reason to go on this trip.
It'll happen.
We need to walk more. We will walk more on this trip. We definitely rebuild our stamina a little bit here. This, of course, is common after 2 hip operations. And years prior to that of constant pain. Yeah, you're not going to be in shape. We got work to do. Lorraine, Uncle Bruce, I would like to see you. I'll be there Saturday night. I won't see you in October. You mean New York? You want to get together in New York? Okay. Send me a private email. Let me know.
We'll figure out what we're doing.
So we can,
Saturday night.
We'll find a way to somehow meet somewhere in Times Square or something like that. We'll try to figure this out. It'd be great.
It'll be easy to spot each other in Times Square.
Yeah, I'll be the one in the suit, in the costume, getting $5 from people.
I'll look like Elmo.
Pictures. I'll be like Tigger or something like. She'll be Elmo. She'll be Elmo. We'll figure this out. That would be great. Splair, good morning, Auntie Jen. Good morning, Auntie Jen.
Splair,
and lots of fun in New York for you guys. Dude, get those steps in 5,000 a day, then shoot for 10,000, then shoot for 20,000 steps a day. Well, these new hips are, they're working. It's just the body that's all around it out of shape. We are out of shape, both of us. So we're working on it. It's going to happen.
We're
We're looking
working it.
forward to the promenade deck on the Queen Mary too.
I do love it.
I love walking the promenade deck a lot.
Actually, being on a cruise ship is probably our healthiest lifestyle.
Isn't that crazy? Buffet, all you can eat all the time. Oh
I know,
my God.
but we have better selection of food.
Yeah, it's true.
And we walk the promenade.
That's true.
After breakfast and again after dinner.
We eat far better food on cruise ships than we do at home. Far better quality, better proteins,
I know,
nutritional. We just have to watch the whipping cream on top of the apple pie. And the lemon pie. We got to watch the lemon pie, and of course, not too many Jamesons. We got to be careful about that. One of us. We'll keep an eye on things. Oh, yes. A Beach Boy, New York, and calm in the same sentence. Homeless Canadian. You're losing it. Lucky for him. Andy Jen is there to pick up the pieces with a song.
You're losing it.
Lorraine, I live near Times Square. This is going to be great.
Oh, really?
Fantastic,
Okay.
Lorraine. We'll be able to catch up with you quite easily. That would be fantastic. Would be terrific. Yes, send me a private email and give me your contact information, and we'll at least share texts and figure out, where are we and where are you and how can we get together, and we'll see what we can do. Fantastic. I'm on 28th Street, she says. So there you go. Not far.
I have no idea.
I think we're on 30. I think we're on 37th.
I don't know.
I believe we're on 37th Street. Yeah, giddy up. Giddy up.
So what's it going to be this morning? You have no bagel.
Oh, I have no bagel. I have to have something for my morning here.
I could give you rye bread with.
Do we have ham left?
No, but we have chicken breast.
Turkey. We have turkey.
Oh, turkey.
Turkey breast.
It's the white meat.
We've got cheese and turkey breast. We got cheese whiz. We've got.
I give you a little smear of mustard, and then the turkey breast, and then cheddar on top. I don't have a tomato. I don't.
No.
And you just avoid lettuce. So.
On cruise ships, I'll eat it, but
I don't.
Gee, what to have and how to have it.
Or you could have an egg again. You could have cheese whiz on toast. You could have peanut butter on toast. Look at that face. You could have jam. You could have jelly. You know the difference when it's jelly or jam? You know it's jelly because jam don't shake like that. They didn't get the visual.
What you learned, you didn't get that visual. Good thing. I don't want to lose viewers. I'm trying to hang on to what I got. My poor viewers,
Jam don't
grossing them out
like that.
Oh my goodness! Oh no! Why don't we?
Or you can wait and have a cereal when you get off the air.
No. What about? Yeah, why don't we do a turkey and cheese with the mayo, the horseradish mayo?
Oh, with the mayo? Okay.
How about that?
Do you want it toasted?
Sure.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah, toasted and then yeah.
I'm on it.
Cool. Auntie Jen, awesome. Thank you so much. Larry Titus, I'll be there for October New York City meet and greet. I need to hassle my local record shop for some new Yoko albums. Oh, no. Lorraine, I know where you have to get your ship on 12th Avenue. And JJ, I'm attending the meet and greet market, dude. I'm there, baby. Rock and roll. Yeah, we'll be there for... the official meet and greet will be October in New York. That will be, if I recall, it'll be October the 26th. That's a Saturday, October 26th in New York. For London, the meet and greet will be in September. I think it's going to be the 14th or the 21st of September for the London meet and greet. That is going to be at the Park Plaza Hotel, Westminster Bridge location. That one is set. I don't know yet where the meet and greet will be held in New York. Stand by, because when we get there next week, we're going to check our neighborhood and figure out, okay, where are we at? Times Square is just a little bit over here, maybe somewhere in there. stand by. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Lorraine, okay. JJ, I will get back to you. Rock and roll. Okay. Anyway, looking forward to seeing some of you individually and or in the meet and greets. Same thing with Europe. We know that there's a strong possibility we might get together with Splair. We'll see how that works out, and we'll see how it comes together. Look forward to it. We're up 55 on the Dow, trying to kind of stay positive on the markets, I guess. We're up 2 cents on AI. GameStop is just down a dime. SoFi is up 1 penny now. Nvidia down $1. On the Apple front, 18 cents on the downside. We're not going anywhere at the moment. Tesla's down 575, a little bit of a dip there. Google down 580 with all kinds of rumors surrounding it. Microsoft is up 57 cents. Meta up 117. Netflix is up 830. Amazon down 21. Yeah, there you have it. That's some of the issues. Uber down 31 cents. Adobe's up 488, but AMD down 291. Unity down 57 cents. Enphase down 235. Moderna down $1.04. Cisco down 14. Pfizer's up 19 cents. IBM up 11. HPQ down 19. Home Depot is up 517 after dropping yesterday. Interesting there. Vanik Semiconductors down 366. Goldman down 245. Boeing down 45 cents. Target down 89 cents. JP Morgan up 64. Costco down 124. Walmart up 46 cents. Disney's up 30. American Airlines down 4. AMC down 3 cents. DraftKings down 46. And Royal Caribbean down 379 right now. That is the story at the moment. Intel down 63 cents at 1984, still stuck just under $20 a share. So far at the moment, and that's what I see going on here, folks. Welcome all to the program. Thank you all for joining me from wherever you are around the world. Fantastic to have you here. Appreciate you all. On the poll question neighborhood, on that front, let's take a look and see what we're doing right now. We have the poll question has 230 responses, and the question was statement here was, I think the Magnificent Seven shares will be hitting new highs before the end of this year. And out of 230 voters, 69% are saying, yeah, I think they will hit new highs before the year is out. 31% are saying no. So between now, August the 14th, the middle of August, and the end of the year, 4.5 months, more people think we'll hit new highs before the year is out on the Magnificent Seven stocks. Very interesting. We have 130 people who have hit the thumbs up button today. We have 196 watching right at the moment, plus my viewers watching the rerun. If you're watching the rerun right now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button because they all matter and they all add to this channel's momentum. Those of you who are forgotten to hit the thumbs up button or just joined us, please hit the thumbs up button right now and give us a bit of momentum on this show. Let the world know we're here. We're talking option writing. We're talking the greatness of SoFi. We're talking the possibilities of GameStop. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to share with people. If only they knew we were here. Thank you all who are helping us with exposing this channel and promoting it by hitting the thumbs up button. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the party, pal. Nice to have you here. Hope you're seeing gains come your way. I love these stories. When you guys tell me about stuff like people who win the lottery, they win some money and then they blow it. Do you guys know anyone like that? Do any of you know people that have come into some serious money one way or another from an inheritance? They got bought out by a partner from their business. They got laid off, but they got a big settlement and they got their stock vested, given to them. What happened to these people? What did they do with their lives? Are you able to fill us in? Whatever happened to some of the lottery winners that you've known? Whatever happened to them? The only person I know that kind of won a lottery wasn't anyone I knew personally. It was I was a 13-year-old kid in 1968 or so, maybe it was 69, and I knew another kid, kind of my age, whose parents won the Irish sweepstakes lottery. They got something like $40,000 in 1969, which is like a half a million today. Their house I think their house was worth something like $25,000, and they had a $15,000 mortgage on it, and they paid off their mortgage. So that's the first thing they did. And so that house today is $500,000 today. So I mean, if they're still in it, I doubt. There's kind of an idea of what we're talking about: winning a lottery to allow you to now own your $500,000 house free and clear. Pretty good. They took the rest of the money and they bought a new car, which would have run them maybe $4,000, $3,000. They bought a color television and brand new living room furniture, and they probably bought new appliances in the house, and that would have run $5,000, $3,000. So they spent it on various ways. And my buddy said to me, "Come on into the house. Let me show you our new color television." And I went, "Oh yeah, this should be cool." And so we saw. I watched a Detroit Red Wings Chicago Blackhawk playoff game in color. It's the first time I ever saw hockey in color in someone's house, and that was something. I think it was 68, 69, something like that. Unbelievable. It was a 26-inch console television built to last 20 years. My God. Yeah, the Irish sweepstakes. These are the days before Canada and the United States had any kind of lotteries going on, where today, wherever you are in North America, you've got statewide, provincial-wide, national lotteries all over the place, casinos everywhere. Sports betting is allowed now in many places. You know how it is. It's completely changed.
Ontario's trying to get their lottery to be able to go online worldwide. And the other provinces are saying, you can't do that.
You can't do that under federal law.
You can only be in Ontario.
You can only be in Ontario. Ontario has 9.5 million people. It's the number one province for population in this country.
But as we all know,
they are running deficits all the time.
Lotteries bring in a lot of money that just goes into the general bucket.
Now, yeah.
It doesn't
go into hospitals specifically.
Unless you do a STARS or hospital.
Yeah, there used to be in Canada, in Alberta, where we are here in this province, it was the money went to charities.
Yeah.
So these lottery foundation dollars would come in, and then the lottery foundation would allocate tens of millions of dollars a year to hundreds of charities in the province. Mm-hmm. And it got to the point where $100 million was coming in, $200 million was coming in, and the province went, "Oh, we're going to
remember when we first had
shift it."
When we first had 649, it went to junior sports, and still does.
Sport Canada.
A lot of it goes to Sport Canada.
The first lottery in Canada as a national lottery was designed to bail out the 1976 Summer Olympics held in Montreal. Yeah. The mayor of Montreal, Drapeau, and the government of Quebec and the unions in Quebec, especially the construction unions, screwed up the building out of the Summer Olympics to the point where the federal government had to step in to salvage it, and they promised we're going to make money. These games are going to make a profit for Montreal and Quebec. Oh, it's going to be a legacy for the province forever. Yeah. Oh, it's just going to be the greatest thing ever. The games were over in 76, and then the bills came in. And by 77, after all kinds of inquiries and investigations and audits and secret payoffs under the table to mafia bosses, so there wouldn't be work stoppages with unionized workers. The entire nightmare came clear that the government of Canada, the country of Canada, was on the hook to these crooks for hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions wasted, lost, unaccounted for. And so the government of Canada approved a national lottery. And people could buy
$6.49.
No. These were tickets. These were tickets, and these were $10 tickets. And if you got the last two numbers right, you would win $5. And if you got the last three numbers right, you'd win
So is it a
$25.
scratch off? I don't even remember.
No,
that.
these were lottery tickets. With
But-
each ticket with a number on it, a 7-digit, 9-digit number.
But could you look through and pick the number you wanted?
No, they were in a pouch.
Oh, okay.
And so you would buy these $10 tickets, and there would be two parts. There would be one part which would be the ticket, the size of a check would be a ticket, and then the other side would be the size of a check, and it would say "Good luck," or it would be a $10 instant winner. You won $10, or you got a free ticket, and you just clip that off, write your name on the back, give it to the retailer, and they give you another ticket, and you'd open that pouch and see what you had. So Canadians are buying 5 and 10 at a time. Over months. They would sell these for like 3 months and then have a national draw on national television. These machines with the balls in it would be on, and it was the number one watch show for the first 1 or 2 draws. The first prize, if you got all 7 numbers right, was $1 million. Now in 1977, to win $1 million, you could buy a brand new, fully loaded Camaro for $8,000, maybe $7,000, and you won $1 million today. A fully loaded Camaro is what, if you can even buy them anymore, $60,000, 10 times as much. Yeah, so this is like winning $10 million on a national lottery. The government of Canada made so much money from the national lotteries to pay. They paid off Montreal in like 2 years. They paid it off. But then the provinces said, we want in on this.
Yeah, this is a gold.
And the federal government, to try to appease the provincial governments and try to win votes, the federal government gave up the national lottery game and gave it to the provinces themselves. And each province could decide whether or not they wanted provincial lotteries or not, and in what form. And this became the golden goose for every province, including Alberta right here. And now Alberta, the Alberta Lottery Foundation makes hundreds of millions a year, and it all goes into the budget of the provincial government. It isn't anywhere designated anymore for just charities. Charities still get money from the governments, but most of that money goes into the jackpot of the provincial government, so that people don't pay as much in taxes. You see, we have a lower tax rate, but it's coming from gambling. So what's the difference?
We call it stupid tax.
Yeah. Well, the dumb money.
Dumb money.
Got the rye bread.
No bagel.
Got the turkey. Got the cheese. Got
And
the.
it's going to be very crunchy. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can see that because your toast is kind of dry. Yeah.
Mm.
So lots of crumbles.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, you enjoy.
Thank you, Auntie Jen.
Bye, everybody. Enjoy. Oh, it's Wednesday. Come back later.
Tonight.
It's Wednesday.
Boy, nice. Due to saying I closed some spreads, and I used the dry powder to write a put spread on MSTR, 30% out of the money. I took in $330 for a 65-day expiry, 65 days. Return on buying power is 18% on the premium. Thank you very much. This is easy. Charlie, what's your take on the poll question, Uncle Bruce? We're going to continue to hit all-time highs before the end of 2024. We have an election, and that's still, in our way. It depends on the advanced polling, whether the election will be meaningful at all for investors. If the polling goes one direction or the other, way over the error margins, then the election won't be a factor. Now it'll be all economics. And if we see a drop in interest rates, and it's an accelerated drop, it goes down by a 1/4 point in September, a 1/4 point in October, another 1/2 point before the end of the year, a 1 point drop in interest rates in America before the end of this year, that could spur the markets higher. That could. But it'll all be on unemployment numbers, inflation readings, import-export dollars, secondary interest rates for businesses, and so on. So we could, but I don't know. Stick around. I'll be around to watch it. You'll be around to watch it. We'll see what happens. The poll question here, there are 239 votes at least now that have come through. We have 144 thumbs ups, everybody. Thank you for that. 239 votes. Still 69-31 is the split. Saying yes, new highs. What might happen is we might have the markets hit new highs, but not the Magnificent Seven. They might get up within 5% of the highs. They'll get close, but it might be that the 493 other S&P 500s and the 27 other Dow Jones, whatever the number is, those stocks might hit higher highs, lifting all the markets higher, but not the Magnificent Seven. They might just kind of get to their highs, close, very close, but the rest of the market collectively is lifted to higher levels, and that moves the indexes to higher highs. It'll be a mixed reading. That could be what we are witnessing. Yes. I'll tell you right now, for Jen and I, on this trip coming up, if we get to see some of you in person in New York, London, we can talk about all this stuff in person. And it would be a thrill. It would be a treat to be able to see you in person. And we can compare notes on how you're doing, and you can tell me what you like about my channel, what you don't like about my channel in person. You can meet other option writers as well in person, make connections. These meet and greets always work out. They are so good. They're so much fun, and they're so powerful, so good. If you can make it, any way you can make it to New York at the end of October, or if you're in London or live in the area, you're traveling, and you could pop in to see us there, that would be great. Absolutely fantastic. Get the cameras out, start taking selfies. Love to have you join us. We'll see how these markets do, everybody. We'll be here. In the meantime, you're option writers, and you're going to generate revenue from writing options, a lot of revenue. And it's going to pay you handsomely. And that is the point of this exercise. I want you folks to just score all kinds of gains from being option writers, being conservative, careful, protected option writers, where you're not getting exposed to wild, stupid swings. We want to stay away from that if at all possible. Thank you again for joining me. We have 144 thumbs ups and counting. We got, I don't know, is it a couple of hundred people watching? I don't even know anymore. It varies, almost to 182. Thank you. 182 folks are here. Welcome, everybody. I'm chomping on some rye bread right now. Lovely. Keep an eye on these stocks that we're following here. The Dow's up 75. Hanging right in there. Let's take a look at the rest of the market. We've got the Dow is the only one up is Dow. 0.2%, a fifth of a point higher. S&P is down 3 points, almost unchanged. NASDAQ down 89, 0.5%. Oil is down 21 cents to 78.14. Let's see. What else is going on here? 22.14 on GameStop, down about 11 cents. 22.16 now, 11 cents lower. The low of the day on GameStop, 22.06. The high, 22.73. We've only had a 67-cent move on GameStop today. Not much downside, mostly on the upside today. 1.2 million volume on GameStop. On SoFi, we've traded 7 million today. 7 million shares, and SoFi is up a penny right now, I think. 1 penny higher, 665. The low of the day, 662. The high of the day, 678. And we're at 665 right now. It doesn't seem to want to go lower. It looks like SoFi hit the low at 590 a couple of weeks ago. Maybe even last week when we had the meltdown there out of Japan, and since then has recovered and is gaining a little more strength just a bit at a time. a little wave up and a little wave down and another wave up and a little pullback and another wave up. We've just slowly been stepping back. It just looks to me like the stock wants to go back to the 7 to 750 range from where we were at 590. So that's okay. We'll take that. Let's look for more. Rocket Lab is recovering a bit today. It's only up 8, but it's 532. We have anybody else making a move here? Spire 1096, nothing going on there. We've got, let's take a look here. 1073 on Spire, pardon me, down 46. We're up 8 on ATIP. Apple is down 9 cents. That's all. Tesla down 580. Microsoft up 8. Google is down 520. Amazon is down 18 cents. Nvidia down 30 cents. Meta Platforms down 26 cents. We don't have massive sell-offs and or massive gains. It's pretty calm here all across the board. Netflix is up 1.3%, which translates to $8.50 a share higher. IBM up 79 cents. I'm wondering about a couple of stocks right now. I'm wondering if Netflix will split because it's $656 a share. Will that happen? Adobe, 536. Could there be a split in the future there? Goldman Sachs, 490. Could they do a 3-for-1 there? Meta, 527. If they reach 650, could there be a split there? Let's see. Microsoft, 413 right now. If it got to 450, 500, could we see a 3-for-1 split there? That's possible. Apple has to go up another 100 or 200 a share. It's got to go to 350, 400 before we can see a split, I think. We'll see what goes on. Okay, there you go. Thank you all for being here. There's talk right now, and I kind of want to get your opinion on this if you care to answer this question. What do you think about this tipping thing? Trump indicated that he would like to not tax people who get tips. And now the Harris campaign, same thing. They're saying, yeah, shouldn't be taxing people who get tips. I wonder, what do you think about that? From what I understand, in the United States, depending on what state you're in, there are some people working as waiters and waitresses who get less than minimum wage because they can earn tip money. And when it all comes out, they make more than minimum wage, but not a ton more with their tips and their wages. Other states, they guaranteed minimum wage and they get tip money. What do you think about not taxing people who get paid in tips? I think it's a great idea. I think it would be great not to tip people, not to tax people who get tips. These are the lowest wage earners out there, some of them, and I think they're not paying tax anyway. I don't think they're even paying tax now because they don't make enough to pay tax. I get the impression. Now, there are those very few, but there are some who make really good tip money. They really do, based on where they're working and what they're doing and how they're doing it, all that sort of stuff. But I think for the average, the majority of people out there, like those who clean hotel rooms and get $2 or $5 when they clean, that's what's left for them to clean a room. How many rooms can you clean in an hour? 2, 1, 4? I don't know. Some rooms take longer than others. Some rooms you get nothing, and some rooms you get $20. Again, it varies. Then there are the bus boys who get a share of tip money. They get like $20 a shift in tip money on top of their 8 hours, which works out to $2.50 an hour. If you're earning $8 an hour, $10 an hour, and then you get $2.50 more, you're now at $10.50 an hour. You're not paying income tax. you're not making any money to pay income tax. And no matter where you live, you're not paying tax. It's got to be so minimal. So if the IRS stops going after tip earners, the IRS will probably save more money in costs to chase down nickels and dimes, and take their inspectors and go after higher enders who are flouting the rules, perhaps. I really wonder if it would be good for the economy. Could it be that in America are there 20 million people that earn tip money that now wouldn't have to pay any kind of tax, even if they had to, on tip income? Could that? I know what'll happen to that money. They'll immediately spend it. I mean, if you get $1 an hour more in your pocket after a 40-hour work week, you got $40 more for yourself than for the tax man. Are they going to save this money and buy a yacht? $40 a week more, $2,000 a year? No. Are they going to buy a new car? No. No. What's it going for? It's going to go into groceries. It's going to go into rent. It's going to go to the gas bill. Maybe pay the phone bill on time this time. $40 a week. Come on. What are we talking about here? Okay. I would love to know your thoughts on this. Due to seeing that spread that I wrote, which has 65 days to go, I'll be closing it up within a month, and I'll make half my money. Well done. Also, I don't have to manage it. If the stock pops up, I might add a call spread as well. Nice going, J-Boy. Yes, that's correct. With those tips, can get less than minimum wage. That's true. JJ, tipping, it's a ruse. He plans to defund Social Security and other government programs. So he's going to take it away from some other places. Lorraine, they should not be taxing tipping at all. J-Boy, we got paid so little in wages. We didn't really pay much income tax anyway. Yes, Texas is one of those states that pay less than minimum wages and then nail employees to tip on taxes. Talk about being the state that is so friendly to workers. It's all bullshit. It's just crap. Nailing the poor. It's a crime to be poor in Texas, obviously. J-Boy, and we never reported all our cash tips, and why would you? It encourages you to not report. I totally agree with that. Boeing Tiger, most do not claim 90% of their tips, so the law is worthless and a waste of time. J-Boy was a waiter for 6 years. I know what I'm talking about. Lizzie, I spent 12 days in France where restaurant tipping is not mandatory. The workers are paid fair wage to start with. That's right. In Germany, in France, these folks are making 60, 70,000 a year, get 6 weeks paid holiday, free medical, free university education. It's all in the tax code, all up and down. These folks who are making 40, 50, 60,000 a year are paying taxes. They don't need tip income. They live on it. I understand that some cities in Europe are more expensive to live in than others. They'll get a higher wage than in other smaller towns. That makes sense. But tipping is not expected in certain countries over there. Lorraine, delivery gets tips. Larry, work for a fine dining restaurant in DC. I have a friend who makes just over $100,000 a year with tips, and I say God bless him for it. I would love that person to have their gross income only taxed on their wage. That would be great. And if they end up with $30,000 tax-free, $40,000 tax, great. Add to the economy, spend your dough, invest your dough, and not be reliant on government services. Wonderful. Lorraine, I'm always tipping. I tip my lawn guy dad $20 in his hand. I give him $20. White Feather, I'm generally in favor of less government, so I don't think tips should be taxable. There you go. Lorraine, I use my tipping as a strategy for better service. There you go. DH, I would imagine the only tips claimed are on credit cards. There you go. Bobby, lotto equals volunteer poor man tax. There you go. Splair, just in case, I'm going to wish you all a relaxed and special day. And personally, as far as I heard, you pay way too much for tips. Even at the bakery for some questions, a tip is hidden. I wouldn't be okay with tax if I felt the government managed money well. There you go. They just print it and don't balance the budget. That just adds to inflation. Lorraine, nannies in Manhattan get 6-figure paychecks. Well, they need them because you want to live in Manhattan? You want to try to live in Manhattan? Good luck with that. You want to live in the Bronx, in Queens, and commute in? with all the taxes in New York and New York State, and oh my God, no, 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 no. Mm. I heard a story, says Lucy, of a self-service checkout machine in New York that asked for a tip. Yeah, dude, they adjust the CPI to take out things that mess up their numbers. What we get for this large government, endless wars, and dwindling services. Social Security is funded until 2035, and then we're in trouble. There you go. The redistribution of wealth is what it is, isn't it? Interesting. Thank you for participating in my commentary today. Thank you for participating in the poll question today. We have 247 votes now that have come in on the poll question. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button today. So much appreciated, all of you. 148 thumbs ups and counting. Thank you all. I do appreciate you. All right. I'm going to try to finish this sandwich. It's going to be crunchy and messy and crumbs everywhere. Oh my God. This thing's so dry. Thank you all for joining me today from wherever you are on the planet. Thank you for reacting to my commentary today, answering some questions that I threw out at you. Way to go, writing options, everybody. Keep the drive alive. Thank you again for those of you who have decided you're going to take control of your life and you're going to take the classes. Some of you have been asking for one-on-one sessions. We've done a few now in the last week or two. If any of you would like to do a one-on-one, let me know. We'll try to squeeze you in before we go to New York, and or once we're in New York or on the cruise ship, if it's feasible to do a one-on-one, we'll do a one-on-one. Thank you all for your support of this YouTuber from wherever you are on the planet. Thank you. Richard Carlin, neat. Lorraine, no, Uncle Bruce, if you work in Manhattan, not live in Manhattan. Yeah, I hear you, Lorraine. I know there are a lot of people who come in and work there, and then they go out. And if you're a nanny and you can bring in some serious bucks, you're probably worth it, which is fine with me. I say, hey, I don't mind nannies, waiters, dishwashers. I don't mind parking attendants, doormen, um, 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 garbage men, the lowest, whatever level you're at. In private business, I know if you're part of a union, you're making bucks and all that stuff. But the folks out there that are the grunts, the real hardworking slaves, I like to see them make a living. I really, really want them to make a living so they can better themselves, better clothing, better health care, better living conditions, afford to go to education, be able to afford to educate themselves, whatever it is. I just want to see people lift themselves up. I want them to get a chance to lift. I don't want to see people trapped in poverty, no matter how hard they work and no matter how many jobs they have. They can't get a full-time job because they can't get full-time benefits. I hate that. I don't like seeing people offer working 2 or 3 jobs because they can't get one full-time job. I don't like that. But again, this is just me as an individual. It's my personal opinion. Up to you what yours is. But I like seeing people. I like hearing and seeing success stories. I really do. And those who really want it, grab it. But I understand some people are driven and will succeed. But there are many out there who are so beat up. They've come from backgrounds that are so defeatist. They're in bad relationships. They've had terrible parenting. They were in foster homes. Whatever the issue, I just would love to see the betterment of society as a whole, because it just makes it better for all of us. I hate having winners and losers, but that's just me. Again, it's all right. Love you all. Dude, now you got my blood moving. I'm going to go rant at the next person I see. Thank you, Uncle B, D.H. Ruda. Neat. Always be writing. 150 thumbs up, buddy. James of the Tree. Neat. BZ. I want to see employers pay their employees and not make me do math at the end of my meal. Well, there's that. But again, welcome to our system. Welcome to our world. There's the North American world. There's the European world. There's the Asian world, the Mideast world. We're not everything. We're just in our neighborhood. And we've got stuff to bitch about and stuff to crow about. We brag and we complain. Welcome to the world. It never changes. And it will be the same 20 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, just like it was 100 years ago. Same thing. It never stops. Charlie, thanks as always, Uncle Bruce. Have a great day, everybody. Beach Boy, neat, 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 neat. Bowling Tiger, neat, 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 neat. Dude, there are a million voices out there telling them to give up is the sad truth. I want that too. Government ain't going to fix it. They need us to raise themselves and their families. Neat, neat, neat from Hector. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern. Gold Bagel members, come on by and say hi tonight as we get ready for our big trip coming up. Looking forward to seeing you at 7 o'clock Eastern. Gold Bagel member, the primetime show with Uncle Bruce. This is going to be great. Thank you, everybody, for being here and your support and your kind words and your support of this channel. We'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock, and then we'll see you tomorrow at 8 and 8:30 Eastern time as we start this again. Have a good one from Larry Titus, dude. Neat, 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 deep value. Neat, 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 neat. Here we go. 7 o'clock. Let's go. All right, guys. We'll see you later tonight. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.